What if I told you that the fiction you see in mobster movies was once a reality on the streets of New York City? In the mid-20th century, the city that never sleeps was ruled not only by laws and lawmakers but by a shadowy underworld. The Gambino crime family, an Italian-American mafia group, was one of the 5 families that held sway over this hidden realm. Their name is not just a moniker but an echo of their leader, Carlo Gambino, who took the reins during the tumultuous McClellan hearings of 1963. Their influence was not confined to the Big Apple. The family's operations spread their tendrils from the bustling streets of New York to the sun-kissed coasts of California. Their ventures, however, were far from legitimate businesses. They dealt in the dark arts of crime: labor racketeering, gambling, loan sharking, extortion, money laundering, prostitution, fraud, hijacking, and fencing. The roots of the Gambino family trace back to a group of mafiosi from Palermo, Sicily, led by Ignazio Lupo. Their dominance in New York City began to solidify in the early 20th century. Through alliances, conflicts, and the reorganization of the Italian-American Mafia, the Gambino family entrenched itself within the city's criminal landscape. Under the leadership of Vincent Mangano in the 1930s, the family expanded its operations into extortion, union racketeering, and illegal gambling. They even had ties to Murder Inc., a group of hitmen who carried out contract murders for the Mafia. So, how did the Gambino family rise to become such a formidable force in the criminal underworld? The Gambino family didn't always rule the criminal roost. Their rise to power is a tale of ambition, cunning, and ruthless determination. Our story begins in the year 1957. The underboss of the family, Albert Anastasia, was brutally assassinated. This event paved the way for a new leader to emerge from the shadows: Carlo Gambino. With a mind as sharp as a razor and a will as unyielding as iron, Gambino seized this opportunity to take the reins of the family business. The Gambino family's fortunes grew exponentially under Carlo's leadership. He was a man who knew how to play his cards right. He expanded their operations from New York to California, leaving no stone unturned. Under his rule, the family's activities diversified, from labor racketeering and gambling to loan sharking and extortion. Their reach even extended to more sinister activities such as money laundering, prostitution, fraud, hijacking, and fencing. Carlo Gambino was not just a leader, he was an empire builder. He turned the family business into a well-oiled machine, a criminal empire that would make even the most hardened criminal green with envy. His reign wasn't merely about expanding operations, it was about creating a legacy that would last. Under Carlo's rule, the Gambino family's influence and power reached unprecedented heights. They were not just a family, they were a force to be reckoned with. Their name became synonymous with fear and respect in the underworld. But the Gambino family's rise to power was not without its challenges. They faced opposition, conflict, and betrayal. Yet, they persevered, their resolve only strengthening with each obstacle they overcame. The Gambino family's rise to power is a story of ambition and ruthlessness. It's a tale of a family that refused to be just another player in the game. They wanted to be the game. But as they say, what goes up must come down, and the Gambino family was no exception. The downfall of an empire is often just as fascinating as its rise, and the Gambino family was no different. The year was 1992. The Gambino family, once a titan of organized crime, found itself on shaky ground. The family's boss, John Gotti, a man of charisma and fear, was at the helm. Gotti's leadership, however, would be the catalyst for the downfall of the family that had been a cornerstone of New York's underworld for decades. Gotti, known for his flamboyance and brazen attitude, was a far cry from the low-profile leaders of the past. His ostentatious lifestyle and frequent media appearances earned him the nickname, the Dapper Don. But it was this very love for the limelight that would be his undoing. In a shocking turn of events, Gotti's underboss, Salvatore "Sammy the Bull" Gravano, turned state's evidence. Gravano, once a trusted confidant, began cooperating with the FBI, exposing the family's darkest secrets. The Bull's betrayal was a seismic blow to the Gambino family, leading to Gotti's arrest and subsequent life imprisonment. The family's operations, once sprawling and nearly untouchable, were left in disarray. The once feared Gambino name was now a symbol of treachery and disloyalty. The empire that Carlo Gambino had so painstakingly built was crumbling. The family's activities, from loan sharking to money laundering, took a hit as law enforcement agencies tightened their grip. The Gambino family was losing its grip on the underworld it once dominated. The arrest of John Gotti marked a pivotal turning point in the history of the Gambino family. It signaled the end of an era, the fall of a dynasty. It was the beginning of a steady decline, a descent into obscurity, The family's status in the organized crime world diminished, its influence waning. However, even after their fall from grace, the Gambino family's saga was far from over. Despite their fall, the Gambino family's legacy continues to make headlines today. The family's resilience and tenacity have ensured their survival in a world that has changed dramatically since their inception in the early 20th century. Following the downfall of John Gotti in 1992, the Gambino family found itself in a state of flux, grappling with leadership changes and the relentless pursuit of law enforcement. At the helm of the family's operations was Frank Cali, a man known for his low-key demeanor and business acumen, who led the family until his untimely assassination in 2019. His death marked the first murder of a mafia boss in New York City for over 3 decades, a shocking event that sent ripples through the criminal underworld. Cali's leadership had marked a shift in the family's operations, favoring more covert white-collar crimes over the violent methods of the past. His death, however, has left a power vacuum, and the family's current status remains shrouded in mystery. The Gambino family's operations continue, but they are more discreet, adapting to the changing landscape of organized crime. Their activities still span from New York to California, involving an array of illegal ventures. From labor racketeering to gambling, loan sharking to extortion, and money laundering to fraud, the Gambino family has managed to maintain its influence, albeit in a less ostentatious manner than in the days of Carlo Gambino or John Gotti. Yet the Gambino family's standing in the criminal underworld is not what it once was. The glory days of the Mafia may have faded, but the Gambino family's resilience is a testament to their enduring influence. They are a stark reminder of a dark chapter in American history, a symbol of the power, allure, and ultimately, the danger of organized crime. The Gambino family story is a testament to the power, allure, and ultimately, the danger of organized crime. The Gambino family's history is more than just a chronicle of crime. It's a story of power, ambition, betrayal, and the American dream gone wrong. The tale of the Gambino crime family is a saga that spans over a century, and it's one that's deeply woven into the fabric of America's criminal history. From their origins in the early 1900s, the Gambino family emerged from the shadows of Palermo, Sicily, led by the formidable Ignazio Lupo. They quickly asserted their dominance in New York City, solidifying their position through alliances, conflicts, and the strategic reorganization of the Italian-American Mafia. Under the leadership of Vincent Mangano in the 1930s, the family expanded its operations into extortion, union racketeering, and illegal gambling. However, the family's fortunes truly began to soar in 1957 when Albert Anastasia, the underboss, was assassinated and Carlo Gambino took the reins. From New York to California, their operations spanned the breadth of the nation, encompassing a vast array of illegal activities. But the Gambino family's rise was not without its pitfalls. In 1992, their reign came crashing down when John Gotti, the boss at the time, was brought down by the cooperation of his underboss, Salvatore "Sammy the Bull" Gravano, with the FBI. Even the most powerful of empires can crumble in the face of betrayal. Despite their downfall, the legacy of the Gambino family lives on. The story of their rise and fall provides a chilling glimpse into the underworld of organized crime, a world where power is seized through violence and maintained through fear. Their saga serves as a stark reminder of the dark side of the American dream, a dream that for some is built on a foundation of crime and corruption. But more than that, the Gambino family's story provides us with a deeper understanding of the history of organized crime in America. It sheds light on the inner workings of the Mafia, the complex power dynamics at play, and the intricate web of alliances and betrayals that underpin it all. From their humble beginnings to their infamous downfall, the Gambino crime family continues to be a dark yet fascinating chapter in America's criminal history.